Good afternoon. You have, welcome. You have 5 minutes if you need that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Sean Boulton. You may all remember me from items such as 2618 earlier today. I moved to Toronto in 1987 to attend what was then known as Ryerson Polytechnical Institute. On the first day of class, I remember riding in from Parkdale on the 506 and walking down Yonge Street, passing by those iconic spinning discs of the Stem the Record Man sign, and rounding the corner onto Gould. And when I reached campus and walked around for the first time, I saw Lake Devo and Kerr Hall and Jorgensen Hall. Unfortunately, today it's all about Monty Hall. Let's make a deal. I'm surprised this discussion is happening, and yet somehow I'm not surprised at all. Anyone paying even a little bit of attention could have and should have seen that this is exactly how this was going to turn out. Let's make a deal? No thanks. We already have one. The staff report notes that Ryerson and their signage expert and their architect have raised a series of concerns, problems that make it less than ideal for them to meet their commitment to restore and reinstall a sign. For example, the sign apparently conflicts with the design of the new Student Learning Center. That's unfortunate, but the time to address that problem was while the Student Learning Center was being designed. We had a deal. The sign will be costly to operate and maintain. That's unfortunate, but the time to address that problem is during Ryerson's annual budgeting process or as part of its ongoing fundraising campaign. We had a deal. The sign would damage the facade of the library building. That's unfortunate, but the time to address that problem was before agreeing as part of the easement agreement, a legal contract by the way, that it would be the secondary site on which to install the sign. We had a deal. I could go on, but I'm sure you see there's a pattern developing here. Many of these problems could have been foreseen, and the ones that couldn't have been foreseen could have been planned for once they were uncovered. And, oh yeah, we had a deal. Look, this is a pretty straightforward situation. The city lived up to their commitment, and now Ryerson's trying to beg off theirs after they've torn down the building and are well on their way to having the replacement built. If a contract involves offer, acceptance, and consideration, then Ryerson has received their consideration, but they're being extremely inconsiderate to the city in return. You know, I saw someone make a joke on Twitter the other day. I don't remember who or the exact words, but it was along the lines of, Ryerson doesn't want to put the sign back up. That's fine, but it'd be a shame if something were to happen to those lovely planners blocking off Gould. Now, implicit threat aside, there's a truth there. The city has partnered with Ryerson in helping it create and grow a community downtown. And Ryerson has a responsibility to give back to that community in return. Now, I'm not a heritage expert. I respect that staff is trying to be pragmatic and find a solution to this problem. But I'm not bound by pragmatism. As a taxpayer, I'm disappointed that the city would even consider not forcing Ryerson to do the right thing here. And as an alumnus of Ryerson, I'm disgusted that they'd need to be forced. It's unconscionable. I'm sure the commemorative insert they're proposing for the sidewalk might be lovely. And if this were the beginning of the process back in 2007 or 2008, it might even have been worth considering. But it's not the beginning. It's hardly even the middle anymore. And if council ever again wants someone who makes a commitment, however reluctantly, to the people of this city to live up to that commitment, this is a precedent that you cannot afford to set. And you especially can't afford to set that precedent with regard to heritage protection. It is too important. We had a deal. In fact, strike that. We have a deal, and we need you to enforce it. I'm not interested in trading it for what's behind door number 3, and I hope that you're not either. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Questions for Mr. Boulton from the committee? No. Thank you very much for appearing before us today.